What is the most jaw-dropping statement you have heard from a band at a concert that may have made you love them or hate them even more? Language maybe. NSW. It was at my first concert ever. Tomahawk, fronted by Mike Patton from Faith No More, was opening for Tool during their first Lateralus tour. Mike gets on the mic and apparently a few girls up front had already flashed their tea, so he says something to the effect, "Alright, I've seen enough tea, now lem see some dongs." Tomahawk were insane and great. I saw them open for Tool in Fort Worth. Lots of baiting the audience as a bunch of incest-fueled white trash rednecks, giving them the finger and screaming at them. I think he tried to get a crowd in Austin to chant Charles Whitman. Mine is caught between a great one and an idiotic one. Let's start with idiotic. At a Metallica show in the 90s, Chris Cornell was an opening act with Days of the New for the show. Days of the New was amazing. They owned that stage. So Chris Cornell walks out and up to the mic without anyone else out on stage. He opens with "I am your rock god. I should be the whole reason you are here." At this point the crowd turns ugly. He's being booed and has crap thrown at him. At which point, I couldn't help but wonder what he was thinking. He's flipping off the crowd and acting like an butt. I've never seen someone pee off a crowd as much as that. The great one was at a music festival. Everclear was on stage and someone starts trying to hit Art Alexakis in the face with a laser pointer. He stops the show and singles the guy out. Hey, you with the laser pointer, will you freaking cut that crap out? The crowd has backed off from the guy. The guy says something to Art and he just responds, "Dude, I didn't ask for any of your crap. We're just trying to have fun and put on a good show. Now, keep the laser pointer in your freaking pants or we're going to invite your girlfriend up on stage and someone will probably end up freaking her. It won't be you." The guy is visibly red and the girl near him is jumping and pointing at herself. The show resumed and was great. At an outdoor Fugazi show, buttholes were tipping over the porta potties. So Fugazi stops the show and the singer says, roughly, "Why the frick is it at every show we do, there's always some butthole tipping over the porta potties?" Let me explain. Porta potties are good, they take the crap away. Fugazi, explaining the basics of civilization. Not first hand, but this is my favorite concert bit. At a Rufus Wainwright show, some douchebag yells out in the middle of a song, "You're F." Rufus stops for exactly one measure, looks right at the guy, "You're very observant," and then goes right back into the song. I was at a NERD concert and a fight broke out near the stage, so Pharrell actually stopped the show and had the guy that started the fight come onto the stage. He then turned to him and said that we don't behave that way at my concerts and made him sit off to the side on stage for a couple of minutes. This response is so much better than kicking them out like 5 other bands on this thread have done. Now, you sit right there and think about what you've done while everyone else has a good time. The Smashing Pumpkins. Corgan. Are you guys ready to rock? Crowd. Yeah, Corgan. Well, you're in the wrong place. Plays song. The best concert audio I've ever heard was a little compilation of Fugazi quotes. In one of them, Ian is calling out a kid for trying to be violent or punk, I guess, and generally causing a ruckus. But he says to the kid, "You're not tough. I saw you outside of the show. You were eating an ice cream cone. Ice cream eaten motherfucker." I have a similar story. I was waiting for another show to start at Warped Tour this year in Charlotte and idly standing by watching the Wonder Years sing when apparently some girl who was crowd surfing was groped by one of the guys holding her up. The lead singer stopped the show and made the guy apologize, and next was "This one goes out to all the guys who don't inappropriately touch underage girls," or something to that effect. He made a pretty big deal about it and the guy left the crowd eventually. Super shaming to the highest degree possible at a show. This one goes out to all the guys who don't inappropriately touch underage girls. They always say something like that before playing Salinger, but yay, in that context, so much more better. When I saw Primus in 2004 at the Rave in Milwaukee, Le Claypool stopped the band shortly after playing the beginning to those damn blue-collared tweakers and pulled a small child up from the audience. He was being crushed against the front rail in a mosh pit. Les said something to the effect of, "From now on, this little guy will be enjoying the show from on stage. Let's keep it safe, people." That's awesome of the band, but pretty freaking stupid of the dumbass who thought it'd be okay to stick a small kid next to a mosh pit. I was at a Mastodon Deathclock show. During Deathclock's set, Brendan Small took a bit to thank the crowd for attending and Nathan Explosion's voice. Some chick was up on a guy's shoulders and flashed the stage. It caught Brendan off guard, so in Nathan's voice he says something like, "I'd like to thank you all for UHH. That's, keep doing what you're doing." The best part is that's completely what Nathan would do too. The goddamn Motha flippin' 5678's 3 50-plus-year-old Japanese women playing punk beach boy rock and roll style music in English, even though they can hardly speak English. Omo, the bass player, has a set of lungs that would make a hair band lead singer tremble in fear. During one of their songs, the lead singer prompts Omo to do a big giant scream by shouting "Omo, scream," to which Omo would respond by roaring out a wicked scream. This happened 3 times, and Omo, dancing around on stage wearing no shoes and a prom dress, sweating buckets, is spent by the third one. The whole audience, in unison, when the perfect moment in the song came up, shouted "Omo scream." She just sighed, kept on rocking, and gave out a scream so powerful it ended with her lying on the stage still rocking the bass. She played the rest of the song lying there, and I've never seen a more badass musician perform. After the show they sold all their own merch, and in the CD jacket for their album she signed "Omo Scream." Best band I've ever seen live. Sounds like the band from Kill Bill Vol 1. Devin Townsend. Hey ladies, you wanna know a secret about nerds? No one will frick you like a nerd will cue heavy music. I frickin' love that guy. Last time I saw him he told the crowd suck the fattest dong you can find. Supersicker's opening for Social Distortion at Sokol Hall in Omaha. I may be dating myself here. Anyhow, I was standing on the edge of the pit when this guy bombs into the pit, starts screaming white power and starts throwing fists and elbows while the Supersickers were on stage. Only time in my life I've seen 6 guys standing around and literally kicking the crap out of a guy. Eddie Spaghetti stops the song they were playing, saying "If you guys just want to fight, we'll stop the show right now." One of the guys kicking the skinhead yells back, appropriately, "He's a freaking skinhead," Eddie says. Okay, never mind, and the band launches into Born with a Tail. Heck of a show. Hey, why would you throw this bottle on stage at me while I'm up here? I'm just working, man. I don't come to McDonald's and throw bottles at you while you're flipping burgers, Le Claypool. You know, when you throw things on stage it is a sign of small and insignificant genitalia. Le Claypool. When he was younger he would sometimes play with his shirt off, but that immediately stopped when someone hit him in the chest real hard with something. He looked down in amazement to see a whole hog leg. Cake concert. Letzinger. This next one's from our first album. Audience. Woo woo woo. Letzinger. Don't woo. None of you have heard it. Nobody bought that album. They say the most outlandish crap at their shows. Not jaw-dropping, but made me like the lead singer a lot more. I was at a free concert in Charlotte, NC a few years back and The Offspring were headlining with The Bravery as their openers. The Bravery wasn't doing so great, and got a few boos and people were shouting for The Offspring to take the stage. Well, 1 or 2 guys started shouting off a lot and the lead singer just paused a second and looked over at them and goes, "Hey man, you've got to enunciate that crap." No idea why it stuck with me, but I've used that line a few times since the show. Oh, I was there. Amon Amarth supporting Slayer in London. Slayer crowd can be a bit tough, right? Singer gets a pint thrown at him from the crowd which hits him pretty square in the beard. Beer, he says, "Thank you but I do not need a drink," raises drinking horn that is tied to his belt for "I have my own drinks deeply." Was cool as frick and he got no more pints in the face that night. Frick yeah, Johan Heg. Billy Joe stopped the show to yell at the security guards trying to take our cameras away. Let them take their freaking pictures. It was awesome. I don't really like the way Green Day has gone, but I do respect them for their connectivity with the crowd, especially when they pull fans out of the crowd and let them play their instruments. Points to a bartender standing on the top of the bar and says, "I will give you $100 if you take off all your cloths." Of course she says no. Then halfway through the next song he stops and points into the crowd and says, "Come up on stage." This guy had to be like 300 pounds, crawls onto the stage butt naked and he gives him the $100 and sits him in front of the drum kit for the Rest of the song, Bloodhound Gang. In a Bloodhound Gang show I saw the lead singer brought out his parents on stage for a few songs. I just can't imagine being the parents of someone in Bloodhound Gang. Not a WTF, but I was running really late to a Gorgle Bordello show one time. I arrived right as they were finishing up the encore when Hut said, "Next time, we play 3 hour." The next time they came to town, they played for 3 hours. Weezer concert. Rivers Cuomo comes on stage in a red velvet triple-breasted suit. He begins to tell a story about a dream he had the previous night. Apparently the devil appeared to him and gave him lyrics to a song. The entire crowd was dead silent listening to him spin this amazing yarn. Then they launched into Buddy Holly. It was pretty dang hilarious. What the heck is a triple-breasted suit? I saw Smashing Pumpkins back in 1991 in some crappy little club. Billy Corgan was completely dosed on acid, to the point that he could barely perform. He kept inviting the audience members to suck on Satan's dong. I heard a concert clip once where Zach De La Rocha made the following statement, "Yo, yo, yo, check this out. On almost every freaking show that we've played on this entire tour, we've had to deal with a few freaking idiots in the crowd who insist on putting their hands on women trying to enjoy themselves and dance up there in the front. And I had to let them know, as I'm gonna let a few of you that I just saw do that crap know, that if you freaking touch women without their freaking permission, we are gonna ask you to leave the freaking building." What is the most jaw-dropping statement you have heard from a band at a concert? "It's great to be here in Cleveland. LOL, I love the Cleveland love. Matt Embry of RX Bandit said so we went to go check out the Great Lake Erie. Man, you guys have one heck of a beach." That we do. At a Van Halen concert last year, David Lee Roth commented about the group aging. "Yeah, we're getting pretty old. Now it takes all 3 of us to throw a TV out of the freaking window." We're going to give you a bunch of Metallica for free. Metallica tribute band opening a free show sponsored by Napster in its prime. Was at an Iron and Wine concert in Northampton, and in response to the audience calling out requests, Sam Beam says, "What? They all sound the same, hilarious." Dallas Green stopping mid-song and going off at a knucklehead in the crowd that started a fight, got him kicked out while everyone was lambasting the dumbass. It was beautiful. I have also seen him stop a show to give a girl some water because she fainted. He said something like, "Whoa, that girl fell. Pause, geez, help her, pause, give me some dang water." This isn't really jaw-dropping, but it made me love Frank Turner even more. I just saw him in Columbia, South Carolina, and he has a song from his new album called Glory Hallelujah about there being no God, and right before he plays it he says, "I've heard the South is a pretty religious place, so if you don't agree with the things I say in this song, I need you to do 2 things. First, don't shoot me. I would really prefer to not be shot. And second, stick around and have a beer with me at the bar after the show because it's just freaking music." He seems like such a genuine guy. Dang. Wish I saw this earlier. Probably won't get noticed. I was at a concert in Mississippi when Chevelle took the stage. They attempted to open with the Red, but they kept messing it up and starting it over. Finally, one of the guys went up to the mic and said, "Frick this. They told us there'd be 5,000 people. I don't even see 500. Then they walked off stage. Everyone was pee. People were bowing and started to flood out demanding their money. Suddenly we heard an electric guitar blast the auditorium and Josh Homme appeared on stage and said, "We don't give a frick if there's just 50 of ya. We're gonna tear this mother down." The rest of Queens of the Stone Age came out and yes, crap got epic that night. Jane's Addiction. First year of Lollapalooza, and they were playing near Seattle. Perry asks the crowd, "Hey, you guys wanna hear a really good joke? I found out a good use for black people. You can hollow them out when you're dead and make them into wetsuits." The crowd all gasped, then started booing. I remember thinking, what a total dong. Kind of ruined the whole set. For about 10 seconds. Until Ice-T came out on stage and starts to stare him down, leading into "Don't Call Me N. Whitey." Bruce Dickinson. 02 Arena, the 6th of August 2011. Paraphrased. Iron Maiden are a freaking family. I don't care if you are Catholic or Protestant, Muslim or Christian, Israeli or Palestinian. Inside this arena, we are all friends. and we all share one belief, the belief in metal. Frick outside conflicts, and inside this arena we are all brothers. I now feel so much more respect for Bruce. Strapping young lad, dude screaming himself crazy singing this song. The whole band pauses mid-verse for about 5 seconds and he screams, "I just crap my pants." It was the most hilarious thing ever, until right before the end of the show. He does something similar. Suck a turd to a point and stab yourself. He set the bar high. Too high, maybe. Devin Townsend 3. I hope you all don't have to work in the morning because we're going to play until they kick us out of here. George Clinton. And even after they cut power to the amps, they kept playing until the police literally cleared out the hall. This was hours after the local zoning laws dictated that concerts had to end. Sean Paul at a reggae festival. I come here to frick your women and smoke your weed. He was booed off the stage and hasn't really been welcomed back to the general area. I wasn't at the event, but this is the first thing that came to mind. From Wikipedia, Cedric Bixler Zavala, the lead singer for the Mars Volta, walked off stage 10 minutes into Another Drive in performance at the 2001 Big Day Out Festival in Sydney after previously having asked the audience to calm down and observe the safety rules. Let's dance, rather than beat the crap out of each other. After their refusal, Zavala told the crowd, "I think it's a very very sad day when the only way you can express yourself is through slam dancing." Then after pointing at an audience member crowd surfing saying, "Look at that. You learned that from the TV. You didn't learn that from your best friend." And finally stating to the crowd, "You're a robot, you're sheep," before bleating at them several times, finishing with, "I have a microphone and you don't. You're sheep. You watch TV way too much," and leaving the stage. Later that same day, teenager Jessica Michalek was crushed to death in a mosh pit that took place at a Limp Bizkit set later on that day at the concert. Bixler Zavala has not spoken of Big Day Out since then. Shad, Canadian rapper for those who don't know, says he's gonna do a cover because he thought it was the hottest verse of the year and then raps the entire Friday rap verse. He finishes and says that crap was hard to learn because it makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know who this Shad is, but I like his style. Alright guys, by the end of this song, I want that guy by the wall over there to be with child, and with Volpe of Ludo right before whipped cream. The first time I saw Ludo play that song, I was the only person sitting down in the whole place. My foot was broken. I was the guy by the wall he pointed at when he said this line. I was a little disturbed, :0. I saw Queens of the Stone Age open up for Nin once or twice. The lead singer, Josh Homme, belittled some jerk in the crowd. Now I'm paraphrasing here, but he said something akin to, "That guy has a dong so small that when he pisses all over his balls." I know this because I fricked him in the butt before the show. Mindless self-indulgence. A few years back, a few songs into their set, Johnny Uran referred to Avril Lavigne as the Yoko Ono of Sum 41. A few songs later, he spotted a couple of people who were sitting up on a hill overlooking the fence to the venue, and he yelled something to the effect of, "Hey, you back there, you wanna start fricking or something so we can get a free show, too?" That's giving entirely too much credit to Sum 41. To the huge guy that just body-slammed that little kid, take it easy, don't make me stop the music again, circle jerks, that little kid, knee. The Fall of Troy were playing their last song, ever, and of course it was Premix, and some kid was crowd surfing with the intent to get on stage. Thomas found the perfect break between words to shout, "Frickin' no," point at him accusingly, and didn't skip a beat. I LOL'd and rocked some more. Oh god, Fall of Troy. I grew up in Edmonds, in the same circle of friends Thomas had. Saw them play once where a crowd surfing kid knocked over Thomas' mic mid-song. He stopped the whole show, cussed this little teenager out, then stormed out. That guy was a dong. Wavs, who absolutely suck live. Drummer, "Hey guys, I wrote a new song. It's called Pacifit." He then proceeds to play the drums by himself saying the word Pacifit as many times as he could. Not only was it not funny, they are one of the worst bands I've ever seen live. At Warped Tour in Calgary, 2009, I saw Less Than Jake. They said, "There are two things we love about Canada. free healthcare, and the chicks here are freaking hot. No, seriously, we played in Alabama a couple weeks ago and the most attractive girls there were the guys from All Time Low. Got a huge kick out of that. They also got the crowd to pass some kid up to the front so he could make out with a hot girl they found. When he got up there, they saw that he was around 12. Sorry dude, we didn't realize you were so young. It would be irresponsible for us to let you kiss this lady, but you can hang out backstage. There's all the beer and weed you want back there. I saw AA Bondi a few years ago at Rock and Roll Hotel in DC. He was obviously way out of it, but he played wonderfully. At one point he stopped the show and demanded that they turn on the disco ball, refusing to play until they did. He later finished Black Rain, and then paused for a minute and said, "Frick, I'm so high." It was a great show. I was at a Toadies concert in San Antonio at the White Rabbit. In the middle of the show some guy in the audience started spitting on the lead singer. He points him out in the crowd and yells, "Hey butthole, I don't come to your job and slap the dongs out of your mouth. So don't spit on me while I'm working." Probably one of the best things I've ever heard. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.